Hello YouTube, what's up? This is Big Doodle from the Lorekings. I'm going to talk to you today about a little topic that's been coming up recently, and that is of these former company executives from big gaming studios going on Kickstarter. These former executives, they're coming on Kickstarter, they're asking for a boatload of money, tons of money to start companies, and they're supposed to be doing quote-unquote indie games. But whenever you watch their videos, they have full staffs, corporate space, and all this other stuff. So is it that they're looking for money to start indie games, or are they just looking to protect their own equity within their companies because they've already gotten venture capital money and other investment money, and they put up their own money? I think there are hundreds of thousands of independent gamers out there trying to get started. Most of them suck. Most of them need to fail. But there are that minute few that really need money, that are living off ramen noodles, that are doing all these little things that only need a fraction of the money that these guys are demanding. I mean, they're demanding like 400,000, 200,000, 100,000. When you can go on there and you can see independent gaming houses only ask for $5,000, $15,000, $20,000 to get a game started. Or they already have a trailer, they just need to get it going. They need to get the access to Microsoft. They need to get the access to PSN and the Steam and all the other ones. They need the access. They need the ability to get past the ramen noodle stage of their company. Whereas you have people with a litany of titles under their belt, crying and begging for money. Really, you're crying and begging for money on Kickstarter. You don't need a Kickstarter. You need to give up a little bit more equity to your company and get the extra money to finish your game. Or you need to save more when you were producing those AAA titles and you were getting banked. Now you want to try and pretend like the industry is somehow against you because you were in a meeting one time and one of your effed up ideas didn't make it through. Come on now. If you're 40 something years old and you've been in the video gaming industry since you've been 20, and you've been producing and you've been writing games and you've been all up in the game industry and all this other stuff, and now you're 42 years old trying to talk about how you're indie, you're not indie. You're industry. Just accept it. There's nothing wrong with being industry. You probably made a lot of great games, but you're not indie. Don't use that word. Indie is what people do in college. Indie is behemoth. Indie was BioWare before they sold to EA. That's independent because they didn't need money from the outside. They didn't need money from the internal industry of the gaming world. And there's nothing wrong with needing that money. There's nothing wrong with making a game company after you've been working for one of these other major houses for years. There's nothing wrong with that. Go ahead and do that. But don't go to Kickstarter. That's like rich people getting breaks in college for hardship. You're not in hardship. You're not. You need to stop pretending you're in hardship. You need to stop pretending that you are somehow a part of the indie culture. And a lot of these same people were the same people that came out against gamers during the whole Mass Effect 3 thing. If you haven't seen the video on that, that's down below. The link for that is down below. But some of these guys are acting like, oh, look at me, poor me, I'm an independent game developer. No, you're not, motherfucker. You've been out here for 20 years. You got people funding your project. Obviously, you have corporate space. Everyone in your video is fat. Oh, I'm not attacking fat people, no. But when you're fat, look at real indie guys, like real independent developers. They're all skinny. Why? Because they're broken and eating ramen noodles. If you see too many fat people in the video on Kickstarter, just know those people are eating food. They're eating good food too. Not McDonald's, not Emmy, not even Burger King, nothing like that. They eat some real good shit. So, find those independent games, sponsor them. Don't sponsor these guys. These guys are they're protecting their own equity on these massive titles that they're building and that they're making and that they're going to pump out. Don't feed into it. Don't let them pull on your heartstrings. Don't let them do those things, because they're going to talk to you in a way that's really going to make you feel good. They're going to be like, hey man, remember that game you played, 10 years ago? Yeah, I was a part of that. I was a part of that game. Come on, give me some money so I can make another game like that. They ain't going to make that shit. They ain't going to make that shit. And you should know that. Don't fall into their trap. They're not going to make that shit. They're going to make some whack ass game. Because there's some whack ass people that got thrown out the company because they try to come up with some crazy, stupid idea. Then they talk about all the failures they made. Did they talk about that? No. I ain't gonna talk about that. And this is strictly for Kickstarter. Don't go on Kickstarter. If you've been in the industry for 20 years, stay the fuck away from Kickstarter. If you've been in the industry for 7 years, stay the fuck away from Kickstarter. It's not for you. It wasn't meant for you. It wasn't built for you. Let's start supporting these guys, the next behemoths of the world. The next team that created Kraken. Let's get them. The Bastion guys. Let's get them. Let's get some of these other guys that have come up through nonsense. They're in the back of, they're in basements and they're in dorm rooms and they're in all this other nonsense. Let's help these guys out. Let's help them win. Let's help them succeed and let them stay indie. This guy right here, he's going to sell his joint to EA as soon as he can get a chance. As soon as you guys give him money, he's going to succeed and then sell his joint to EA or Activision. Believe that. Behemoth independent. You know what I'm saying? Protect them. Protect those people that want to stay independent. And let's go. Support true indie games on Kickstarter. Because that's what Kickstarter is for. Subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be putting videos up like a madman here for the next month. Then after that, I'll make up some other type of schedule. Right now, I'm on a man status because Lorekings is coming out and we're going to take over the world. Peace.